Hey guys, what's up? Yesterday, for those of you that were following me on my stream, I'd mentioned that I was going to show one of my digital paintings I'm working on, but I got so busy last night that I didn't have a chance to actually... hey, Coronado? I can't pronounce your name, sorry. What's up? Anyways, I got commissioned down at Comic-Con to do a religious piece. This is only the second one that I've done, and I figured I'd give it a shot, so I accepted the offer. And when I was drawing my crest yesterday, I mentioned that I'd show you guys this, so here it is. Yeah, it pops up on the screen so fast that you don't even have a chance to look, but hey, welcome. So this is what I've got going on here. I'll turn a few layers on and off here. I've been collapsing them, so or flattening them, so I mean I'll turn them on what I can, but kind of show you what's going on here. So let's see. So I start with a sketch, and then I lay in some darks underneath it, and that just kind of gives me my highlights and shadows. So I get something similar to that right there. And if you want to see the higher res version of these, just follow me on Instagram, adammiconi.com, or just adammiconi. But let's see. That's just a layered sketch. So then I'll add this canvas texture underneath it to make it look a little less digital, I guess I should say. I doubled up my darks a little bit so I could see it a little bit more after I added that in. And then this is where I've kind of been collapsing the layers. So I mean, if we'll get a little bit closer, kind of drawing in there and painting in there. And then this is what I did last night. So I got so busy, I looked at the clock and it was like 12:30, and I was like, oh shit, I can't stream now. Like my entire house is asleep. So then I felt that since the story is basically, it happens at night, I figured it was a little too warm. So I add a little filter over top of it to cool it down. And I felt like that was starting to match it a little bit more. Then I built in the other section right here. And then I just did a layer adjustment right there. And my final touch that I did last night, and I'm still working on this part, but I added the blood on the hands, because the thing is, it was funny that this guy approached me because all my artwork is really dark and somewhat disturbing. And this guy comes up and he wants this religious piece done, and we talked about it a little bit, and I told him that religion's a subject I'm really interested in, but I'm not a believer in it. I mean, curse me if you guys want to, but I just don't. So he was completely fine with that, and I started researching it, and all the Mormon pictures of this, there's no blood. It's like this dude's getting decapitated, and it's almost like this peaceful, fun story. So he told me to run with whatever I want, however I want. I asked him if gore was okay, and he's like, yeah. So, I mean, I wanted to add more of a realism to it without it seeming just disgusting, because I want people to enjoy it, but I also want it to feel more like something actually happened. So that's the first stage of the blood. I'm probably going to add a little bit more, but I don't want to overdo it because I don't want it just to look ridiculous. But starting to get some up on his clothing too. I'm still working on that. That was like done at like 12:30 last night, and I was super tired. But I have a few adjustments to make on the face still. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that good, but he doesn't have eyes yet, so I still have to go back and add those in. But I'm doing this like dagger right there. I think the actual story is like a sword, but I felt like a sword was going to be kind of hard to work with. You can't tell with the eyes. Yeah, I don't know how crisp this comes over to you guys. But the actual story is I believe a sword, but I felt like the dagger was going to have to like be clear down here at a weird angle, and it was going to come clear over here if it was like a sword. So I decided to go with the dagger, and you can kind of get an idea of it like right here. It's actually going like through his neck, and it'll have like a little section right there. So that's where I got up to. Tonight I'm planning on finishing up this leg right here. And then this dude right here, Laban, he's going to, since he's like some higher stature guy, he's going to have more like decorative embroiderings on his clothing, and like with Nephi there, he's just kind of going with like the red robe and the brown shirt. I signified the red robe as like kind of like a murder type thing. And I know in the Bible stories, when Jesus returns, he's wearing a red robe, so I thought it would be kind of a cool tie. This is Photoshop. So if I can, I'm going to take it over into Corel Painter after this and add some more brushstroke type look to it. But yeah, this is Photoshop. And then under here, you have your brush tool. And if you actually hold down on it, this mixer brush tool one comes out. So what I do is I lay in texture, kind of like that. And I'm probably going to do a stream about this later where I'm actually painting this. I just wanted to test it to see how well it would actually record a monitor, which I think it's doing all right. But after I lay in like that weird kind of just rough texture with the standard brush tool, I'll use that mixer brush to blend it instead of... So you got like this little tool right here, which is the smudge tool. That one works, but it makes everything super smooth and blended way too much. The brush tool actually makes it a little bit rougher. And you know what? If you guys want, let me adjust my tripod here. I don't have it hooked up, so give me a moment while the camera shakes like crazy and you guys can see my messy desk. I'm going to hook the tripod up and I'll show you guys how that works. Alright, let's see. I got this little desktop tripod, so forgive the motion sickness I'm probably causing you guys while I try to do this all one-handed, if it's even possible. But yeah, I'm doing some graphic design today, and I'm between projects right now for a second, so I figured I'd jump on and share this with you guys. Almost done, sorry, a little bit more camera shake. Alright, buddy. I was putting that in the tripod, it turned my power off for a second. Alright, let's see. Let's rotate this down. This is really hard to do with one hand. Alright, can you guys see that pretty well? Oh, maybe not. There we go. I don't know if this allows... Okay, so that does allow zoom. Okay, so I'll show you guys how this works real quick. After all that camera shake right there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll select just my normal brush tool. And then I'll come in here. I've got like 50,000 programs running right now for my graphic design, so let me see if I can speed this up just a little bit. Okay. What is going on? It's not even drawing right now. Maybe not, guys. Sorry. It's like not wanting to behave. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is just the standard paintbrush. And I'm actually pretty rough at this stage. And I'll use a smaller brush only to get these little details at this stage right there. And I'm not even that particular with them. As you can see, I'm kind of rough with it. And just wherever the lines may land, they land. I go back and I clean it up a little bit afterwards, but I'll kind of just rough all this in, and then I'll kick my brush up to a little bit larger size, and I just mass all this in. And if I get little spaces like that that don't fill in completely, I actually prefer that. If you fill it in completely, it's going to look really digital and just flat, completely flat. So I don't even worry about that. So I rough all that in right there. Then I pick up my new color and I just kind of go over that, which the new color is really just a lighter color. And since this is blue light hitting, this one has a little bit of blue hint in it. Since this, then the cool light creates warm shadows. So this one down here has a little bit of red. This one has a little bit of blue. Just a tiny amount. Like, I'm not trying to actually make it look blue. Like, if I want it to have like a real nighttime feel, I'll probably add that later on, and I'll just do like a glaze of blue over the entire thing. Oh, no problem. Yeah, add me as a follower if you're interested. I just barely started this, so I've only got like 3 followers, so feel free to follow me and catch it later. Thanks for being here. Then I'll pick up my lighter color, and I'll go over that. So let me see where we're at right here. So as you can see, this is like super rough, like, and even I just kind of drew right there. I'm not even worried about that kind of stuff. But what I'll do from this stage, let's see, get it framed in here, I'll switch over to the mixer brush. And the mixer brush looks like the paintbrush, but it has like a little like water drop next to it, and it's actually hidden underneath the brush tool. And then what I'll do is I'll just come in here and I'll just blend it together. And the reason why I don't mind these little spaces here is because when you blend it, it actually adds more color to the mix, where like if you're just using the brush tool, it's just going to blend with like this brown color. If you're using just the smudge tool, it's just going to smudge these colors. This mixer brush will actually inherit surrounding colors, like right here. It brought in some of that brown, so now I actually have some red mixed in there. So it adds you a lot more variation, just like if you're doing like traditional painting and you happen to brush against one of the other colors, it would inherit that color. So that's why I've started using this mixer brush, and I'll go over it quite a bit and just kind of keep on blending it. And if you bring down from one of the other colors, it will inherit that more. If you come up from the darker, it will inherit that. So you can work back and forth, and you can actually sample colors too, and it will inherit that color as a base, but it doesn't really have a huge difference. It's real subtle differences. So it's going a little bit slow still, just because, like I said, I have like a bunch of programs open. But if it's not giving me the color that I want, I've got my Wacom set up with a short key, or a quick shortcut, and I can switch back to my normal paintbrush, and I can actually just paint in some of that other color. And even though it's blended, like I have some transparency turned on here, so it will kind of inherit that texture underneath it. But after I do this, this is kind of like my base coat. Sorry about that. I've got my phone angled weird, so I can't really see the comments right now. I was asked to do kind of like some painting on this one, so I'm just showing you guys what we got. But like my phone is facing like almost more than like a 45-degree angle down towards my desk, so I can't really read names or see who's coming in or anything like that right now. So I apologize on that. But so I'll go ahead and blend something a little bit further in, just like that. Then I'll switch back to the mixer brush. And it's just a game of going back and forth quite a bit. I feel like that's like a little too strong, so I'm going to turn the flow down on it a little bit more. And that's all there is to it. It's just going back and forth, playing with my colors. See, I'm still on the mixer brush. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to actually, I can see that there is a comment there, but I can't read it. So I'll have to catch the replay on this one and read the comments on it too. And I'm also thinking about posting these up on YouTube. I record them, so I'm thinking about posting them up on YouTube afterwards too. So if you guys want to watch them on there too. I've been trying to figure out what to do with my YouTube channel, and I think what I'm actually going to end up doing, because like I was doing full illustrations on that and they just take forever to post up, so there's like a month in between each post I do. I'm actually going to probably switch that to be more what is it, like tutorial based. So I'm sorry, like my computer is going so ridiculously slow. I've got Photoshop open, Illustrator, InDesign, web browser with about 50 different tabs in there. It's just insane. So like I'll do one of these later that is actually focused more just on illustration, because I've got all my graphic design stuff going on during the day. But that's all there is to it. So I'm not going to do a full painting session. I just wanted to show you guys what we got going on here. But once again, after all that blending is done, that's kind of the effect that we get. So as you can see, that one started right about here where the mouse is. That's starting to come along. The rest of it is super rough, but when it's done, it'll have more like a painterly type look like that. But there we go right there. I'm going to do the hands tonight and hopefully this leg. That leg goes clear down there, and I think after that I'll do that. But I'm going to post this on Instagram here shortly, probably later tonight as well after I finish that. So follow me on there. Instagram.com/Adam McConey, I believe is what that one is. MICONI. And then I've got YouTube, which I believe is Adam McConey Art. Facebook, Adam McConey. DeviantArt, same thing. I mean, practically all of those things. So take a look over that, and if you guys like what you see, feel free to follow me on Periscope. I just started this, like, I believe it was last Saturday. Like this one we just barely passed, so I'm looking for some followers still. If you're an artist, drop me a line, and I want to see what you guys are doing as well. So I will catch you guys later. Hopefully you like this.